Once upon a time, there was a guy that had a wife. His wife worked in downtown, and he had a big truck like this one. Then came a nice pole in the middle of downtown, and the man that had to drive his wife to work because it was crazy, crazy weather. This is what happens when you have a mammoth of a vehicle. You can still get the tailgate down. I won't do it, but it does touch a bit. So, yeah. We're gonna have to fix that. We have just the thing to fix that. A shiny chrome bumper. We have put it in the shop. Now let's get this thing fixed real quick before we continue on to the real stuff. So it actually came out so easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts and that thing comes out, and it actually got dented in super easy. Under here, this arm under here, I moved it with ease. Okay guys, so today we're going to be jumping into the 86. We're going to be making some door cards for the 86. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we have to go to the store and grab some sheet metal. We're gonna make this kind of dummy proof, and it's gonna be easy to do. I'll show you guys exactly what you're gonna get. We're just going down the street to Lowe's. It's just the closest to us. So yeah, let's go to the store. So yes, 4 by 2 feet at Lowe's for 65 bucks or something like that. Not ideal, but you gotta do what you gotta do whenever you have an old car. So we're going to be using this, and we will be drawing it out because we are lucky that we have an OEM card. For the sake of cutting the least amount of having good edges, we're going to bring this to the edge so that we essentially don't have to do anything in this corner but line it up. And then over here we'll just draw out the shape of everything and then multiply by 2 because they're exactly the same. We gotta dust this thing off. It's been a while. We actually don't have a blade, if you guys see. I had it for a while, but I don't really use it because the blade broke on it. Long story short, I wasn't using it appropriately, or at least for the appropriate material. But we got a new blade. So let's get this thing back up and running. My OCD wants to do 2 door cards, but you guys saw I have a door card. Would you rather have a mismatched door card, or would you have matching and then in the future purchase 2 matching ones? It kind of bothers me that this piece of aluminum isn't completely flat. I think it had some heat cycles to where it kind of shifted. It's got some shards of metal sticking out, and that won't be fun if we're rushing in the car one day. And it's not gonna be perfect. Well, actually, that looks pretty spot on. We actually cut this little, because if I left this shaped up in like a sheet metal form, this would be very sharp. So we just kind of went with it and went straight. This is like the easiest thing you could do if you don't have door cards or you have horrible ones. I actually bought some really bad door cards for $100 for both. Do I regret buying them? Kind of, because I don't think I'm going to use them. The idea was to salvage them, and if I could bring them back to life, then maybe I could actually sell them for some money or use them. But I kind of like the OEM look that this has. I really like this door card, and it kind of sucks that only one is good. Oh wow, that's great. That's like the perfect hole. We're gonna fix the color issues. But first we gotta see if it fits. Wow. Okay, that looks decent. This tape will allow us to stick it without really bending it, because if we clamp it on, it'll probably bend it. It's so flimsy. Pretty much this lip we need to cut off. We're gonna go do some cutting, and we'll be back for another test fit. So we pretty much got it lined up. We cut what we had excess. I would like for this to clean up better, but I have some ideas. I'm probably going to add like a little, I know it sounds kind of weird, but like a trim piece so that this metal isn't really like there. For race car purposes, I'd say it's good. I just don't like this part about it. You'll be able to hear that, usually. A little bit of texture will help whatever we put on here stick a little bit better. We're gonna add another coat and keep doing it until we have a solid coat so it doesn't look patchy. Thankfully, with the power of editing, we are able to get this done matte black, and you guys don't realize that it was a disaster. But we fixed it, and now let's install this in the car. I'll be honest, I have not weighed it, but it is less than half the weight of the OEM panel. So it is kind of saving some weight if you think about it. I thought I'd switch it up a little bit, do some better things, and well, different things while we're waiting for the engine components to come in the mail. We have a couple things we're missing that we cannot continue with that you guys will see. But for now, I want to try to piece together the interior, get things looking more like they should. And the first thing is the shifter. Luckily, we have our OEM shift knob, and this is in the OEM location, so that's beautiful. So we're gonna have an OEM shift knob. Perfect. The carpet is still being finalized, so we haven't exactly done all the extra cutouts. We have to do those, but for now we're gonna try to get things situated. I found a CD in here. I don't know. It says call me 634-5789 Roy C. I don't know if this is like a sexy thing. Oh no, it's music. I have to listen to this later. It's a little weird, a little spicy stuff in there. Let me get ahead and I'll update you guys with what I get done. Okay, so obviously it's not 100% done. You guys can see, but we have a lot of the main components. We have the dash, the glove box, center console. We have to take the whole seat out in order to finish this little piece of carpet, but the rest is done. A lot of the stuff is in its place. We shined up the door on this side. You guys can see it's pretty cracked right there, so we need another one. But it actually looks like a car now. That's really good. We have not had it look like this since we've bought it, and that was about a year ago. I'm so glad I did this today. I wasn't planning on doing interior stuff this week, but due to being delayed and other things, we were kind of forced to. We forced our hands to it. Now let's jump into the, I guess the one thing that has been bothering me the whole time. A fuel cell that never really convinced me. We're going to redo the whole rear end, or the whole hatch side of this. We're gonna make it look pretty. We're gonna do it right. See, the issue with me is that whenever you're doing a build, you feel that pressure to finish a chapter in a sense. So you do it, but then if there's something that you didn't love about it, you just kind of like hesitate to fix it. Essentially, that chapter is done. If you do the same project twice, it gets repetitive is what I mean. So we have made a big hole once again, and you know what? I'm so glad we did. If you guys notice, inside the frame rails, like if you guys, there's rust in here, and this apparently, I didn't go in here because I didn't think there was rust inside the actual frame rail. The frame rails on the inside, they had rust. So it's probably a really good thing I did this. So we're gonna clean all the rust from inside the frame rails on both sides. There's a chunky boy here, see that? This was inside the frame rail, not good. Finished cleaning this up, sanded it down, sprayed it, did as much as we could. Next step is cutting out a nice little template, making a thicker template which is more stable so that you have the exact width, because those flimsy ones are not as good. So first we did that one, then this one, and now we're going to transfer it into metal. Okay guys, pardon me if I look like a madman. Just got done through hours of cutting. So you guys can see it extends all the way to the side. It kind of curves around. I was going to have it tuck into those corners. Those corners are, they stick up a tiny bit, so we won't be able to get those corners. And it's pretty much as good as it's gonna get. You guys can see it's just in there, but it feels 10 times stronger than the other one. So yeah, now that we have a piece that we're happy with, we're gonna weld it in. Then once we're done welding it in, we'll spray it in. Once we're done spraying it, we're gonna put the OEM gas tank back in, and that is gonna be a wrap. I'll see you guys on the other side. Let me get this thing welded and painted, and see you guys shortly. Quick update, I have the car in the air. I have the welder hanging with a string, and now we're tack welding it. The biggest strategy, pro tip, is if you're not listening to some classical hip music, you're doing it wrong. After some long rolling hours of paint, welding, silicone, adhesives, and all kinds of, well, mostly the silicone is for the sealant. You guys know welds are good. My welds are not the best. We pulled out some of the interior pieces and got a nice little shine on it. Yeah, tons of silicone. So those cleaned up pretty good, and those are actually the ones that go off to the side. But check this out, man. 10 times better, would you say? I mean, she's done for the most part. Back here it looks a lot better than what we had before. I know a lot of you guys told me, like, what are you doing? Sam, you just cut the back of a car off, that, well, like an 86, and I went rogue. I know, I went rogue, and I apologize, but we fixed our mess. For those of y'all out there, they got a little antsy with that. Yeah, we fixed it. Now we're just gonna throw the OEM fuel cell, do it the way we should have done it to begin with, and continue along our merry way. In terms of weight, I don't think there's much weight added to the car. I weighed out the piece of metal by hand. Obviously, it's not the best way to do it, but it was not that heavy, and it was a solid gauge of steel. So I'm assuming it will gain some pounds, but we also took out that curvature of the spare tire and all that excess material that was in there. So we're gonna do a weight test essentially afterwards, once everything is said and done, to see how the weight distribution is. I got a feeling we're still gonna be front heavy for sure. But we'll see. Once we get there, we'll be able to modify everything, maybe add some pounds in the back, remove some in the front somehow. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. As you guys see, we focused a lot on interior today. Tried to get this thing dialed in as much as we could. Yeah. I'm missing this other side of the seat, so unfortunately we'll just have to stick with that. And then these seats are ripped. I'm gonna try to go to a upholstery shop and see if they have something that they can do with these. I don't know, honestly. I really want to throw in some racing seats, but I want to keep this vibe we have going on. It came together really nice today, so I'm really excited about this. You guys learn from my mistake, buy an 86 that Benji has not touched, because geez, it's hard to bring it back. That guy, I guess it's not his fault. It's also the original owner, the guy that left it for abandoned wherever Benji picked it up from. So we're going to end it here. I'm actually tired. This video took too many days to do, but it came out good and it came out right. I've learned my lesson. Finish the job the right way the first time. That way you can keep on, leave that in the past. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys next week. If you guys haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe, hit the post notifications, and we will see you guys next video. Peace out.